it's such a nice day and such a lovely spot, I thought it's about time I did a rundown of the truck. It's a 1990 FG434. The truck was bought new and the body was built pretty much at the same time. It's fiberglass with a steel subframe. Any sections with structure have encased marine ply, so it's built a bit like a boat, I think. Yeah, 3.3 litre full mechanical injection, no electronics apart from the starter motor, no glow plugs. I think they just ran super high compression back in these days. Wasn't turboed, but it's been turboed now with a mate, Aaron from Gympie. He runs a company called Boost Dock, so that's certainly helped a heap. Has winches front and back. They run 24 volt on a 12 volt winch, which gives them more torque and spin. So you just can't free spin them or you'll kill the gearbox. King spotties, which are actually quite good. Good throw, good spread, could not complain. Tyre size, 19.5 inch rims, super singles, which was on it already. I'm not sure, but it's possibly that was how they were fitted out originally when it was made. Good ride tyres, which are like quite a decent truck tyre. Reasonable tread pattern. These are done maybe 40,000 or so. Yeah, they're a 3-ton tyre, so yeah, way overrated. 4 plies of steel on the tread and 1 ply of steel on the sidewall, so tough as apparently. Inside the cab, sexy carpet that was already there. Fairly basic, old setup. Has high-tech Toyota 79 series winders, reverse camera, important hat holder, reasonable Sony head unit, UHF, platform I built for the dogs, boost gauge, exhaust temp gauge, and a engine monitor that gives me oil temp and head temperature. Not much else to see in there. Heading around, water filler. She's got 140 litre across 2 tanks. Got these side throw spotties. As you can see, the Fayama F45 awning, pretty common. Not a huge fan. I had an old one of the same on it, so I replaced it, but I think the build quality of the old one was definitely better than the new one. Don't think it will last quite like the old one. In here is the electrics. So 330 amp hour lithium battery. That's a 24 volt charger, which doesn't work that great with the lithium. The MPPT Victron, which works well. It looks a bit messy, but I've rewired the whole thing. Everything is wired correctly with good gauge and fused. As you can see, there's relays and everywhere, so I can isolate most things. Down here we have the pump for the tyres. When I let down, isolate some switches for the winches and for the main start batteries, which are in there. Pretty standard stairs. A little bit high on the first step, but I wanted it tucked up. So as you can see, barely drops down off the body. It did have lower stairs on it. They got caught up and ripped off. Fold down table. Just the usual standard affair there. Storage container in here, which is chockers as usual. Has a shelf up in there. Got my paddles. Goes right back into where the drawers are. Water filter there. Keep in there recovery gear, pegs, some dog stuff. In the more storage back here. Here's You can see I keep, there's actually a ladder up in there, you wouldn't be able to see it. One of those collapsible ladders, some mesh stuff, chairs all fold down in there. More storage, and extra 20 litres of diesel, 20 litres of water in behind there. Spare metho. On the back we've got all the stuff. So we have the bike. Carrier did have 2 spares on it, but before I left, modified it with mate Ty and his metal glue stick. Yeah, so we could fit the bike and take 1 spare, and then had 2 sets of tracks adapted to go on there. As you can see, that's where the other spare attached, so the system could still go on there. Based on that there's the bracket that holds it pivots off here, so to get the tyre down you can hinge it down, because the tyres are like, and the wheels are like 80 kilos. Storage bag I got new. This one seems pretty good, heaps of space. I did have to get this one replaced because the zipper did fail, but these are upgraded YKK stickers, so he was really good about it, and express posted one down to Tassie for me, and I kept the old one as a spare, so you can't knock that support. Moving around, as you can see, the roof's up, so it's a pop top roof. We've got on the roof of a max air fan, which can be open even during the bad weather. It has, I think, about 1050 CFM flow, can go in and out and automatically come on at temperatures. On the roof you can see a 330 watt LG house solar panel, which generally covers me pretty good. On the side, we've got side out exhaust, standard fuel tank. It looks a bit lower than normal because obviously it's on a rise, the vehicle, on a hump should I say, straddling. But the tank's 160 litre, has 240 volt in, which according to this decal here, was done in 1992. Pretty funny. Don't really ever use it. Storage on this side is the same, it goes halfway across the truck. Got a pop-up bucket, and the King's 3.6 metre inflatable kayak, water hose, spare water, just wet gear and stuff like that in the bottom section. In here is the tool area and hot water, so 6 litre storage electric hot water, so that just runs off 12 volt. It'll do constant flow when you mix it, say hot enough to burn your arm almost, for nearly 3 minutes. So heaps for a shower in the bush and washing up. Normally we can manage with 2 people and still do the washing up. Just supplies and storage of oils and fluids and sprays up there. Reciprocating saw stays here, which I use for firewood. Other electric tools here. I made it so this slide gets used for the toolbox, so it can stay in place and open up and allow access to all the tools. This is also, it's only a cheapy one, but it does the job. This is clipped down around it with quick release clips, so I can take the box out quickly if I need to. Hot cold shower rosette, which pops open, and the slide out, not slide out, but fold out shower awning. You've probably seen them on the frame, so it just drops out, takes a few seconds to pop out. Diesel filling over here, and other than that, pretty basic on the outside. Factory mirrors, I actually cracked that one recently, and got a whole replacement assembly for 25 bucks because they're standard and old. four-wheel drive, obviously. No lockers or anything, but the rear diff in these is pretty decent as a, I don't know what you call it, LSD compared to normal four-wheel drives. Like, even if it's wet and on bitumen sometimes and you turn tight, you can hear it wanting to lock up. So yeah, the back wheels are on the ground, both of them are spinning, pretty handy. So moving inside, yeah, looks a bit classic and retro with the carpet. So we have up here, used to have a crawl through, but as you could see, it would be a super crawl through to the cab. That's why that mess is there. Someone's closed it off. Yeah, so that doesn't exist anymore. Put this window in here, which he had as spare, which I think was on that panel on the outside you would have seen as I came in. So the seats were in it when I got it. They're car seats. I put the covers on. Cool thing is, they pivot. So you can choose to sit however you like and also recline a bit. Yeah, much more comfortable than the usual type seating they have in vans. In this little section under here is the throne. You don't need to see that. I try to avoid using it if I can. Bit of a mess under there, but just storage. And in below there is the 2001 inverter, which I don't need to use that much because most of my stuff runs off 12 volt. Even the laptops, USB-C. So I have 65 watt USB-C output, so you can run that fine. Got a 200 watt Renogy fold out solar panel there, just in case need some extra. Storage racks there, and messy storage racks there. The fridge is a 130 litre Frigio with fridge freezer. Ooh, chocolate has quite a decent amount of room in it. The freezer is the whole top section because the compressor is separate to the box. So it's a box with a separate compressor, which is actually sort of in behind it. That's why I've got filtered intake fan, ventilation, and an extra exhaust fan just in case when it's really warm temperatures. Switch panel for lighting, hot water, entry, and the outside lights, so I can do the rear floods, the side lights, and everything from inside here and in the cab. Can be handy. Fancy bin, pretty good because it goes like that and like that. That was a good find, trying to work out a bin that would stay out of the way and work. Like this also here. Mind you, this is crappy paper towels. Don't buy Viva, they don't stay on the core, but this holder is pretty handy, so you can leave your paper towels out and not have them just roll out everywhere. This cabinet here was already installed, but it didn't have any proper tap mixer or water plumbing or anything like that. So I put a filter tap in, mixer tap. It's got a proper pump and everything. The cupboards have reasonable storage. I've put some trays and little things like that to hold it. It's pretty packed in right now. Got myself a Ryobi vat because I have Ryobi other stuff, as people bloody do. Yeah, that's pretty handy for cleaning up. Has drawers. Put some extra drawers in here. So yeah, the storage isn't too bad. Under the bed, we have the 4 drawers there for clothing. That's quite handy, and a like a pantry here, which I find pretty full at the moment because I've done shopping. But yeah, and some storage and everything wedged in there. Around here, there's another head unit just for music inside. Distribution box for electrical up to this section, and for the fans, head unit, and so forth. More USB-Cs and 12 volt, and along with the other USB down there, and more USB outlets up there. I also have some down here with tails always hanging out, so it's pretty much, I don't know, 8 USB outputs. So the bed, it's a it's a caravan double. That's what mattress is in it. So it's whatever the deluxe mattress from Clark Rubber. It's actually pretty good. Under the back of the bed, if you pull it up, there's extra storage, which has stuff I don't need to get to at the moment, so spares and things like that. The windows slide open. These are all glass originally. This one here has been added at some point. I don't think they had a back window, so someone's cut this in. This is a wind out caravan type window, which is good because you can have that opened if it's raining. Lighting wise, I've added these sort of navigation type lights, which are handy. One there and another one over here, so you can manipulate them how you wish. This light here was already there. Doesn't look fancy, but it's actually not too bad. Another light on the entry and some old LEDs here and there around. The fridge cabinet, me and a mate Ty, we built this out of I don't know, it's one of those the lightest one of these Bunnings type timber things you can get. It houses the fridge and the cookers, so this opens up and you can see we have two cookers here. They're actually marine metho stoves, so they work really well. They heat up fine, much safer, because if you need to extinguish a metho fire, you can literally take this bed blanket and throw it over the top and it'll just snuff the flame. So you have no LPG at all in the truck. It's all electric, including the hot water, and the cooking is just metho. So a little bit more storage down in here and some electrics. And the roof, as you can see, pops open. So it hinges on one side, which is sort of good because it's a lot more sturdy than the usual type scissor pop tops. So that's the inside of the Max Air fan, which is remote controlled. I haven't had to use it heaps in Tassie, it's a bit cooler, but yeah, it's a lifesaver having pushing the air in or out, depending which works. Have another little Sirocco fan I can angle, needs a bit of a clean actually, however it needs to be, depending where you're sitting. And as you can see, it opens up at the front and provides beautiful head height views outside. Lovely in Tassie, letting a bit of that sun in and the air. Over here we have one of those Telstra type whatever 4G Netgear modems, and these are some tails for the antennas that are outside. So I have two antennas outside, which give I found generally versus the modem about a 10 dB gain boost, which is pretty good. So down here low on the lake in the middle of nowhere, I can't get anything, but when we're up on the lookout I could get signal, and there's no signal on the phone here at all. So same with down at Cockle Creek and a few other areas where people just couldn't get signal or get any usable signal. You can actually get signal and use it if you need to. So it does make a difference. The old Enerdrive, I only just use that for the external solar and as a DC-DC now. So I did use it for charging from the solar, but they're not very good on a house panel. So yeah, compared to the Victron, and any sort of shading on the house panel with the Enerdrive, just lost all input, whereas the Victron works really well and you still keep getting input and it adjusts really fast. So certainly a better solar controller is the Victron over the Enerdrive, but I already had that, so I'll use it. It's good as a one for the external solar. I think it works okay on 12, like the lower voltage panels, and still does the charging from the truck, which is what we need. Yeah, I think that's a bit of a rundown. Hopefully it helps everybody get a bit of a insight into what the truck has. And How's that for a porch view?